What's up, everybody? This is the Prediction Project. This is end of Chapter 2 assessment. So let's get started. So frequently asked questions. Your task is going to be to make a prediction using the math from Chapter 2 and the data from the internet. When's it going to be due? After 2 in-class work days. Uh, is it individual? Yes, you're not going to be working in groups. What are you going to submit? You're going to submit a screen recording, just like I'm making right now. The screen recording is going to go on Google Classroom. And if you want a good grade, then preview your work with me, your teacher. Uh, make sure that you invite me in and make sure that you, we can talk about it. I'm not going to necessarily give you the answers to everything, but I will connect you with your notes and I will help make sure that you know what to do next at all times. And if there are things that need to be fixed, then I'm going to help you fix them. So during this time, there's going to be no test, no Math Excel, but I will say that the next Edpuzzle is going to be due at the same time also, Edpuzzle 2.8. So, central question. First of all, we're going to find a quantity that's changing over time, and I'm going to assume that that change will continue over the same rate. Your central question is, what will that quantity be in the near future? For example, in the notes, I did years. This is the year 2014, the year 2024, and the year 2030. It's a future prediction. I found off the internet that there are about 25,000 softball players in 2014 and then 38,000 softball players in 2024. And if you draw a straight line, if you assume that the change will continue at the same rate, then that means in the year 2030, we're going to have about 45,800 softball players playing college softball. This is reported by the NCAA for college. Some other related questions. So once you finish your main task and you find the prediction, then there's some other things that I want you to consider. How reasonable is your prediction? That is, how good of an assumption is it the rate or the slope will stay the same in the near future? Next question, what is your slope? What are the units and what does it mean? What is your y-intercept? What are the units and what does it mean? Next, who would want to know this information? That is, who would pay to know more about the future of this quantity? Like, there's to be able to predict the future is actually quite valuable to a lot of people, and I want to know who cares about your data and your prediction. Where'd you get the data? Make sure you cite the website. And how did you do your calculations? I want you to show your typed work. And you might be like, Berg, how do you make math look good online? How do you type that? I think the shortest, easiest way to do that is to use screenshots of stuff you type on Desmos. Last question. Write the point slope form of your equation and simplify it. That is, oh, you can't see it because my head's in the way. What if I do this? That is, I'd like you to how does the equation relate to the slope-intercept equation? And I want you to show your typed work. So here's a sample slide. Here's what it could look like. And notice there's only a couple things in here. There's a graph, there's an arrow, there's a title, and there's a result. Title, result, arrow, graph. If there's any sentences, I want them put on the speaker notes because I want you to be actually reading them as I am reading my own speaker notes right now. The speaker notes could say something like, in 2014, the NCAA recorded 25,000 college softball players, and that number increased to 38,000 by 2024. At the current rate of 1,300 new players each year, there will be 45,800 college softball players by the year 2030. So notice that the sentences are not visible here. Well, I mean, they are visible to you, but I copied and pasted them into the speaker notes, right? I typed them into the speaker notes. And I'd like you to make sure you do the same. How should it look? The slides at most should have one idea, one title, pick, arrow, result, or picture, or something like that. One idea. So the sentences belong to the speaker notes. All the numbers, please make sure you label them with units and then make sure that they're rounded to 2 or 3 significant figures. And make sure all the numbers are typed. I don't want any photographs of handwritten work. Make sure you simplify X and Y. So when you choose X, make sure you choose years since 2000, for example. Or if you choose Y, choose a large units like thousands or millions of dollars or thousands of softball players like I did. And when you do the recording, make sure the narration is concise, precise, and well supported by the speaker notes. So make sure you know what you're going to say before you go and do the recording. You don't have to type in sentence word for word what's going to be in the speaker notes, what you're going to be saying. If you want to do bullet points or something like that, that'd be fine. But make sure you support yourself well. All right, so the first steps, I want you to do this right now. I want you to go to the internet and find a quantity that has changed over time, like I did. I found, let me see if I can change this again. Bam. All right, I found a data point from 2014 and a data point from 2024, and I wrote them down. And then write down on paper the quantity from 2 different years in the past and the present, as well as the website source. So I got my source from ncaa.org. Then choose an X and Y so that it simplifies the project. So I chose years since 2000. Typing in the actual year 2014, 2024. That's just going to be hard to graph. But I made X to be years since 2000 and Y to be thousands of softball players. It just simplifies the project. I want you to do that right now. I want you to go to the web, think about some topics that you care about. I don't know, like the cost of a 30-second Super Bowl ad last year versus 10 years ago, or the cost of a car, or last year versus 10 years ago, or how many dancers there are competing in high school dances or high school dance competitions. Whatever you care about, whatever is fun for you, I want you to go ahead and find it, and I want you to report it here. Make sure you have that data before you submit the Edpuzzle, because I want you to actually type it in right now. Just so you know what the workflow looks like, you're going to get statistics from the internet, then you're going to put it on pencil, paper, and calculator work. Then it's going to go to Desmos. Then it's going to go to all your visuals are going to go to Google Slides, and then you're going to do a screen recording like I'm doing right now. You can put that screen recording on Google Classroom. All right, go ahead, go to the internet, go find it, and type in at the end of the Edpuzzle what your 2 data points are. Mine were the number of softball players in the year 2014 and the number of softball players in the year 2024. Go.